Wow. Do we have a cool knife to talk about today? As you can see, it's a George Muller Knives custom knife from South Africa. And you have heard me talk a lot about packaging. And I'm not sure that it really gets much cooler than these handmade boxes that, from what I believe, George makes himself also when he's done making your knife. Or I don't know the order. I'm not going to say it's when he's done with your knife, but he makes these boxes that you slide to open. It's got some paperwork in there from Knife Center where Gary bought this knife. One time I've got them. These do come apart. They're just kind of press fit. The hinge mechanism there, or the latching mechanism. I don't know. It's freaking awesome. And then it comes in just kind of a very generic zippered pouch that's padded and comes with some paperwork and certificate of authenticity, so to speak, as well as a picture of your actual knife. That's what we're going to look at here. So I think that's very cool that the picture of your knife is part of the certificate. Like, I don't know. That's just next level, I think, right? Very cool. Here is his contact information if anybody is so interested. And then here, which you may be able to pause that and read it, but basically he talks about how he makes the knives. And we'll go into some of that as we go through this video. I'll talk about some of those things. I'll kind of read some of that to you because it's just so interesting. So here is the actual knife. This is the LLXX Flipper. All of the South African makers, I'm going to move my notepad over here to the right because I feel like I'm always looking to the left away from the new microphone. But if I go to the right, I can look down and read and still be facing the microphone. So maybe it'll sound better. I don't know. Yeah, for maybe 2 weeks now, I've been using the new microphone. Let me know what you think. Have you noticed a difference? The first video I did was the Frank Fisher Battle Fixed Blade. Was the first one I used the new mic on. To me anyway, I think it sounds better. I've heard a couple of comments from some friends, but you guys let me know. So anyway, this is the LLXX Flipper. All of these South African makers kind of do the similar naming. It's all kind of got numbers and letters in it and stuff. It's a little confusing to me, but maybe there's a rhyme or reason. I don't know. Let's dive into the specs first, and then we'll take a close-up look of this amazing custom knife. 4 5/8 closed, 8 inches overall, 3.42-inch blade, 3.26 cutting edge. It is a Damasteel, and I have the name of the pattern over there that I'll try to remember and read. The blade thickness is 0.141. Overall thickness is 0.569. It runs on ceramic IKBS bearings, so it is super smooth. It's not drop shut guillotine, but it just works perfectly. Okay. And weighs in at 5.1 ounces. And as I've talked about before, your D-cell battery is 5 ounces. So it's basically like carrying a D-cell battery around in your pocket. Let's zoom in and we can talk about this. Beautiful, beautiful knife. The camera does not do it justice. Let me tell you that. I'm going to open up the paperwork over here, the certificate, because it has some information on it that I want to share. Get that opened up. It is a Damasteel from Sweden. So while it's made in South Africa, it has parts from Sweden. It is a Halic Pella. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. Partially, I can't. It's hard to read his writing, and it's hard to pronounce. But a beautiful Damasteel, and it's equally beautiful on the spine. I just, that's what's beautiful about Damascus and Damasteel, is the pattern from every angle. I just think it's beautiful. I probably should have filmed this one in 4K. I think I'm going to start filming in 4K just to see. I've done one video in 4K. It was on the Frank Fisher battle. But I think most people are watching from their phones anyway, so 4K isn't going to really do much for us. It is a Damascus bolsters, marbled carbon fiber scales, zirconium pocket clip, and we'll talk a little bit more about the clip in a moment. Anodized gold anodized titanium liners with some hand filing. 2-piece backspacer, which is also Damasteel. Here's a better shot of the liners. And what else on the parts and pieces? I think that covers it. Now, it's got a super light detent, but it's rock solid. There's no play in any direction. I mean, it's locked up tight, and it's not... And I know this is not a good test, right? I mean, that's wimpy, but it's not my knife. I'm not going to beat it up, but it is solid. I gave it a couple of light taps earlier as well. Now, the pocket clip is zirconium, and it is more of a, got an orange peel type finish, so it's a little bit textured. I don't love the clip. It isn't, there's a lot sticking out when it's in your pocket. It's going to stick out about here, and it's not, I mean, it feels okay as it grabs your pants, but I think he could have done a little bit better with the pocket clip. The 2-piece backspacer, okay, not a big fan. I think it would have, for me personally, would have looked a little cleaner as just one piece, but hey, I understand. Gold anodized pivots with purple anodized collars. I think the color combinations just look amazing. Look at that. That's where you can really see the Damasteel shine, and the flipper tab. I just love that angle and the look of the flipper tabs with a Damascus or a Damasteel material. It's going to fire every time, no matter what. I have not been able to fail it yet. Gary bought a really good treat here. You can feel the seam between the Damascus and the carbon fiber slightly. I like the fact that they use countersunk hardware. You can feel the seam a little bit less on this back one, but it's still there. But you are getting, from South African makers, you are getting an amazing deal price-wise. I don't know what this one cost. I didn't ask Gary. Oftentimes I just don't ask because it's a little rude. But other ones I've seen similar to this from South Africa, maybe not from George, but just in general South African knives, are in that $700 to $900 range for something like this, where something like this in the States is easily $1,200, $1,500, $2,000. So you're getting an incredible value when you go to the South African market. Okay, let's do a couple size comparisons here. Let me move my notebook back over to the other side. You know, this whole channel is a work in progress. There's always some fine tuning and tweaking of where I put stuff, how I do stuff. Here it is next to the Sharpie, where I put the microphone, where I position things. I think I've got the audio kind of dialed in. The next thing I really want to work on is the lighting, because I'm just not super happy with it. I think it's okay, but it's not my favorite now. Lighting will be next. Here it is next to the Spyderco Delica. The D battery, the AA battery. The Cerakoted AAA Olight flashlight. This will be kind of common. The USB out the front, which is the same size as a lot of standard USB thumb drives, just to give you kind of that somewhat understandable or recognizable size comparison. I think when I pull out, you know, custom knives and whatnot, the Sharknivko Ryu, a lot of people haven't heard of this, or they've never seen one, so it's hard for them to relate size-wise. Same thing with the Hellraiser. You may not have actually seen one or handled one, so it may not be a good reference for you. So I try to bring out some other things to be more relevant. But yeah, this is gorgeous. And Gary, I think you're going to be super excited when you get this. And if you're not, let me know, because I think this is just beautiful. And gold isn't really my color, but it works with this knife and everything all put together. It just works. So awesome, awesome knife. Thanks for sharing, Gary. And thank you all for watching. Let me know down below what you think of the audio, what you think of lighting, and just, you know, is there a relevant item that you might want to see used as a size comparison? Just whatever random item. It doesn't have to be knife related. I'm just trying to find some relatable things that can work well, that everybody would kind of get. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.